can't believe I gotta have this conversation.
If he don't win this year, he's a bum.
Lumpsky.
Joe, that's a Hall of Fame terrible take right there.
No, it's not. It's true. It's so true. Virginia just choked. Straight women booty and let the ball go.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
LeBron James
puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound box. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Irving and Curry. One-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
Oh, yeah, but we'll get to explaining and debating in a second. How we feeling, Joseph?
Hey, football's back. I'm happy. WNBA playoffs are about to start soon, so it's hot and heavy. It's great.
WNBA playoffs. We are about 3 weeks away. I think 3 weeks from tomorrow, the playoffs will start for the WNBA.
Yep.
5 of the teams have clinched, so I think we're just down to one or now I'm blanking. 1 or 3 final spots left, but
3.
Nonetheless, we've got it's 8. Had a lot of stuff happening in the WNBA since they've returned to play. Caitlin Clark may have actually taken it personally that she was left off of the Olympic roster. So good for her for using that as motivation. Still shouldn't have been on there.
I don't think so.
She still shouldn't have been on there.
I don't think that's what it is. I think she got some rest.
Turned it up a little bit of a notch.
Yeah, because she got rest. And she finally held and can finally play. She played so much basketball, man. It was like almost unfair how much basketball she had to play.
Yeah, she after the Final Four run, then the draft. I mean, it was really only like a month before she was playing basketball again. But let's talk about our other rookie sensation, Angel Reese. She set the rookie record for double doubles with 23. Breaking Tina Charles' record of 22, which I believe was set in 2010. So was coming up on 15 years. No more. Angel Reese said, let's dead that. My record now. Joe, I want your reaction to Angel Reese's record-breaking performance. I know she's it feels like the heat between her and Caitlin Clark's fans has gotten turned up a little bit lately. I feel like we've been pretty good on this show, just appreciating both of them. But what's your reaction to her setting the record for double doubles for a rookie?
It's impressive. The most impressive thing, if you watch her play and the way she plays, it's not like she's the most athletic person on the court and she's out there just jumping over everybody and getting these rebounds. She knows how to position herself and she's using her strength. She does not jump at all, and she's just getting these rebounds just off of strength and position. She's a smart basketball player, and I don't think people give her enough credit on how smart of a basketball player she is because, like you said, she doesn't have the most skill. She has the size and the strength, and she knows how to use her feet defensively more than anything. And that's going to come, the more she plays too, she's going to get better offensively. And that's going to be even scarier when those double-doubles start turning into 15 and 10 and 20 and 10. Then she's going to be really unstoppable. But she really didn't have to do that in college because she was just so strong and dominant. When she learns that footwork that she has defensively, she adds it to her offensive game, it's going to be real dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, I think look, anytime you break a record, I don't care if it's a rookie record or whatever, like it's impressive. So I think people just need to chill. Yes, she is not a polished offensive basketball player. That's okay. Because like you said, she's still getting herself enough chances under the rim to where she's scoring at least 10 points. You know, a lot of her double doubles are kind of 12 and 10, 12 and 11, stuff like that. But I mean, that's fine. She's also not the only big on her team. Like, you know, she's playing next to another rookie big, right? Like that's much bigger than her. So the fact that she is still able to get all of these rebounds, I think, is very impressive. You could take away all of her rebound. I saw this stat the other day. You could take away all of her because everyone's clowning her, like, well, yeah, she just keeps bricking right under the rim and just getting her own rebound. Okay. You could take away every single one of her rebounds of her own miss, and she would still be second in the WNBA in rebounding to only Asia Wilson. So miss me with it's just because she just misses and then gets her own. Like that's Yes, that does
That's a
happen.
weak
That
take.
has maybe helped her get a few double-doubles, but at the end of the day,
So?
she has been a very impressive rookie, and if I'm the Chicago Sky, I feel very happy about the kind of twin towers that they drafted in the first round this year. So you can miss me with those. Now, do I think Caitlin Clark is very, very, very clearly the rookie of the year? Yes. Like Caitlin Clark has been
Well, yeah,
here, Angel has been
she
here.
does it all.
But this is still really, really good. Like Angel Reese has still had a very, very good rookie season. So let's stop the bashing, and it's hard to ignore like the race element in the people that are just over the top on Angel Reese. Like, god damn, she is a fucking rookie. She was not the second overall pick. Like
Come on,
she
bro.
like
It's Larry Bird. Larry Bird reincarnated. That's why, bro. Let's just be real. When was the last?
yeah,
When was the last American white basketball player in men or women's sports where you could sit there and really like root for like that?
don't
Like
do
you could
that.
relate to and be like, oh,
Don't do that.
like no, for real, like for real.
Sue Bird.
You can't say JJ Sue Bird. Come on now, the popularity was not the same. People weren't paying attention to Sue Bird like that.
They were. I'm just saying in terms of like actual like good at basketball.
Oh yeah, I agree with you, on that. But she wasn't relevant at the time. People weren't watching like that. I mean, she was relevant, but people wasn't watching like that as much as they are now.
That's fair. Yeah, Caitlin
Not the
Clark
same.
has upped the popularity. Let's talk about old Caitlin Clip. She's at a career high in points the other night in a win, scoring 31, and adding another 12 assists as the Fever are surging. We'll talk about them and their playoff hopes a little bit later. But what do you make of just the Caitlin Clark kind of post Olympic break? I feel like there's been an extra step taken in that time off.
Yeah, she got time. She got her win back, so now she's playing well. I think they actually had some time during that break, the Olympic break. They had time to gel as a team. Probably had some more time to coach. Her and Leah Boston, that pick and roll, and the way they can actually move down the up and down the court together is looking beautiful. Like that's going to be real dangerous. And Caitlin Clark is actually making her teammates better. You see, in the first half of the season, it seemed like she was forcing things a little bit, and she felt like she was at Iowa. You're not there no more. You actually got some players on your team that have some talent, and you can lean on them sometimes. You don't have to take all the shots. And I think she's starting to learn also when she needs to take those shots. Because in the first half of the season, there were definitely times when she was like, "Okay, my shot's not falling. I need to feed my other team, my teammates." And it was a situation where we're like, "No, you're pushing the ball down the court. We got a fast break. Go and make it happen. Do what you do. Don't look for the passes. Do what you do." And I think she's finally figuring out the game, the tempo, and the pace. Her and Boston are on the same page now, so they're a really good team. I think they'll make the playoffs, but it's gonna be tough because they really are. They're not a great team.
Yeah, it's
Like
gonna
when
be
you
curtains
really
once they
look
get in
down
there.
at it, they're not a great team.
Yeah, I think what happened for Caitlin is it seems like she was able to use that time off to kind of take a step back
Mhm.
and do a little like self scouting. You know, like you had mentioned at the beginning of the show, she didn't have a
Smart.
ton of time to really do that, right? Like she went from immediately playing to then a bunch of promotion for her in the draft and everything. And then I mean, once the draft happens in WNBA, like they basically get right to playing. It's not like the NBA where they have months in between, you know, a summer league to get
Facts.
with their coaches and all that. Like they don't have that for the WNBA. So I think a lot of it just kind of some self improvement, the ability to take a step back and not have to keep playing and playing and playing and playing. Because the one thing that I've noticed is it seems like the turnovers they're still a little high, but
Yeah.
you know any great playmaker you're going to usually have high turnover. Like
Unless you're Chris
there's
Paul.
just very yeah, there's just very few that can really master it like Chris Paul, Steve Nash, like those types, Jason Kidd, like
Those
that's like
guys.
all time special, and you're not going to get that from a rookie. You're just not.
Facts.
Another thing that I've noticed with her game though is I think she's kind of developed a little bit more of an in between game. So when she was at Iowa and at the beginning of the year, it was three or all the way to the rim or pass. I feel like she's developed that floater, and I think this was starting a little bit before the Olympic break, but I think
Which
she's
would be
developed
deadly.
a little bit of a floater, a little more of an in-between game to make herself just that much harder to guard. And like you said, just the chemistry with her teammates just continues and continues to improve. So she's been very special. Now, she is not the best player in the WNBA. She's getting up there.
Nope.
She's approaching. She's probably in the top 10 at this point. Like she might be in the top like at 10, like the way that she's been playing as of late.
Even if she was number 2 is here and number 1 is here.
Oh,
Asia Wilson is that dominant
Asia
right
Wilson's a
now.
monster.
It's not even a conversation. It's not even a conversation. She's
But let's
that
talk about the
dominant.
Fever as a
she's not
whole.
playing well.
The Fever have won 7 of their last 10 and are now in the 6th spot, tied with the Phoenix Mercury, who have lost 6 of 10. So they're
trash.
16 and 16. So they've gotten themselves to 500. Still fairly. I mean, I guess record-wise, not so much. They're only 3.5 behind the Aces and the Storm, but
Trash.
I don't know that I would expect them to catch
They
them.
don't have
But
no
this is a huge
identity.
step
They don't have
for
any
them.
chemistry. It's over.
This is a huge step for them this year, though. So the Fever have
Oh,
taken
Fever?
a ginormous step.
Absolutely.
Yes, huge step. So what do you think of them? I think we're both probably on the same page. They will make the playoffs. But what do you think of them as a team that someone's going to have to play in the playoffs? Right now, I believe they would be matched
Growing
up
pains?
with Minnesota.
Oh my God. Like yeah, okay. Well, that would be a welcome to the big leagues type of moment. Like, yeah, you've been in situations. Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark have been in big game situations in college, but they never played grown women in an intense playoff environment. And that's the same way in the NBA. It's the same way in the WNBA. The intensity is different, and it's something you got to get used to. You got to, and it's not a 7-game series, so you're gonna have to figure out real quick. So if you get behind early, you lose game 1, it's a wrap for you because they're not gonna give you an opportunity to come back because these are veterans, especially if you have to play Minnesota. No chance because they've been there, done that, and they're not gonna let you feel any type of momentum. That's just how the WNBA playoffs work. You can't give a team momentum at all, or things can change real quick because it's not a 7-game series. So it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a great experience for them, but I don't expect them to really do anything. To be honest, it's just like in the NBA
Yeah,
when a young team surprise you that they made it to the playoffs. Like if the Rockets make the playoffs this year, because they're supposed to be one of those up and rising teams, they make the playoffs. I don't expect them to do nothing. I just be like, oh, congratulations, y'all made the play in, but we didn't expect y'all to go nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, I would not expect them to win. I will say, when teams have a player like Caitlin Clark, you always kind of feel like you have a chance. Like if Caitlin Clark just has one of those games where she's on a heater and can't be stopped, that's always a possibility. I think Caitlin is probably more. If I was going to make an NBA comparison right now, and I don't necessarily mean this in a negative way, but just trying to put like levels to it, I think she's probably more of like a Trae Young type player right now. Where the overall impact onto the game might not quite match the stats. You see what I'm saying? Like Trae Young's a good player. Like he's gone to a conference championship. Like he's.
I was just gonna say, his second year in the league went to a conference championship. I'm just saying.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think he's a good player.
He's underrated.
Like when you talk about the top players in the league, there's a lot of point going to pick probably before Trae Young. That's all I'm saying.
Probably.
Like kind of this kind of next tier where like the counting stats look really good. And I'm not saying either is like a selfish player. It's just the impact just doesn't seem to quite match the stats in their total. That's all I'm trying to. I'm not trying to throw shade at Trae Young. I like Trae Young, the player. He can be a heel next year if he wants to. But yeah, I mean, I think kind of like you said, it was just like there's gonna be grown women business once the playoff starts. And
seriously,
I don't know I don't know that Caitlin Clark mentally is also quite ready for that. She still gets very visibly flustered.
You think that Angel Reese foul was tough a couple weeks ago? Or I guess a couple months ago now, shit. You think that was rough? Shit. Yeah. Okay. Like you said, yeah. I don't know if she's mentally tough for that either. That's a great point. Because she barks a lot and she kind of gets sucks into that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Could you imagine like a
there's a
Meta
lot,
World
there's a
Peace
line
type
of
of
like,
player?
look,
And
Chesley
they got
Carter.
some of that in the WNBA. That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
I don't think they'll be seeing each other, but
Facts.
it should be noted that the Sky are currently sitting in 8th, so they would also potentially be in the playoffs right now. But uh, they're kind of, to me, distantly relevant
Hmm.
for for the playoffs.
Correct.
But let's talk about the two-time defending champs, though, Joe. The Aces just can't get going. It seems like they are 5-5 in their last 10. I keep watching the
Distractions,
games,
bro.
and I keep trying to think, like, when is like this moment going to be? Because, like, at first I was like, okay, well, Chelsea Gray didn't start the year. They need to wait for her to get back. Point guard, all
Hmm.
those things, right? She's been back. She's been playing. She's been playing pretty well. They're still just not like, something about the team is just not clicking like it has been the last couple of years. So, Joe, as the resident Aces
I hate to
podcast,
say it. I hate
are
to
they in
say it.
trouble?
I don't think they're in trouble because they got too much talent. But I think there's a little bit of concern where, you know, maybe they tired of hearing the message. Like, Becky, you're not Greg Popovich. And these aren't It's not, you don't have Tim Duncan. I get you have Adrian Wilson, but you got a lot of personalities on that team. And after a while, you don't won back to back. Y'all been dominant ever since you've been there. Maybe you're not Bill Belichick either, and it's not football, and that's not Tom Brady. Maybe you can't keep talking to them the same way. Maybe you can't keep coaching the same way. You already see you got a disgruntled player who was talking about how you treated her when she was pregnant. That's a distraction right there. And if that's something that one player had a problem with, you don't think she's talking to the other players? You don't think there's other players who had felt some type of way about that situation also? And now they're looking at the head coach and like, yeah, we get it. You're a really good coach. You brought us here. We did this as a collective, but you still talking to us like this day one. Like, we grew together. We won together. There needs to be a level of mutual respect. And I think that's what the big issue is. But that can all go away with winning. Once the playoff starts, all that distraction goes away. You get back to things, and winning corrects all of that. And that's just what I think was going on because they got too much talent. And you just watch the games, they just look like they just going through the motions. And I think there's just something going on. I think that distraction has created a little bit of a split in the locker room. Maybe you just need a new voice. And she's the best coach in the league, but maybe you just need a new voice.
I'm not buying that. Well, it seems like the players in Unity have pretty much backed Becky Hammond. Now, some would say, what else are they going to say while they're on the team? So possible. I would say
Right.
the thing for me is more. I'm starting to see some team. Previously, I think they were always playing for something. Like 2 years ago, they were playing for their first. Last year, they had Candace Parker. They were kind of playing for Candace Parker's last hurrah. I am now when I watch the Aces, I see a bunch of players wearing the same jersey playing for themselves. Like, I don't see a lot of
They definitely get
chemistry in
that vibe.
terms of someone sacrificed for the better good. Like Kelsey Plum, like, again, I like Kelsey Plum, the player. She is a player that gets on my nerves a lot. She got on my nerves for the Olympic team. She's gotten on my nerves with the Aces for the last 2-3 years now. She starts
The
gunning.
random hero ball. Yeah, the random hero
Yes,
ball.
it's just like the hero ball that comes from Kelsey Plum. It, like, at some point it's got to stop. Like, you have a very clear best player. The offense should be made around Asia at all times. Now, if Kelsey gets hot, sure, feed her the rock, right? But, like, I forget which team they ended up winning the game. I forget which game I was watching. This was, I think, not this past, like, 2 weeks ago, right when they were coming back from they winning the game. But I mean, it's like it was just Kelsey Plum would off the dribble, Chelsea Gray would cast a shot off the dribble, and for someone that is the point guard, I need her to remember the point part of it. Like, do what you used to do and just make sure everyone was getting their looks and getting the offense organized. I feel like the offense just never looks. They're still a good defensive team. Asia Wilson's forever going to anchor that
For sure.
defense, but they need some organization on offense. And at some point, and maybe the playoffs will do that. But like at some point, these role players have to realize if we just win, we're going to be a part of history. You don't need to make yourself this hero on the way. Like just be you, right? Like I think the one player that I think does this very well is Jackie Young. Like Jackie Young will have her nights when she goes and scores a bunch of points, but she doesn't just sit there and pout and not move the ball on the nights where she gets 10, right? Like I just wish the other guards could kind of stick in that line. I feel like that's more of their problem. You could say that's some coaching. Maybe Becky needs to, maybe in this case needs to drop the hammer a little more and have a little, kind of Eric Spoelstra to to LeBron type thing. Like this is the way. This is how we're gonna do it.
Being Pat Riley, but that's fine.
No, Spo. I mean, not that it wasn't co-signed by
But Pat Riley standing over his shoulder.
Well, I mean, yeah, good organization.
There's no way it was a one-on-one. It was no way it was a one-on-one conversation. Not a young.
Oh, well, yeah, for sure. Like, but like just that type of thing where we're like, look, I don't care, and maybe it needs to be directed to Asia, even though Asia isn't really the problem, but just the fact that kind of in a similar vein, I will talk to the best player like this and tell the best player that they need to sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Like some accountability needs to start happening on that team. That's all I got.
We'll see. Playoffs usually do that. We've seen dominant teams
can flip a switch like that.
Yep.
Three-peating is hard. The regular season stops feeling meaningful at some point. But Joe, with that being said, let's do our top five. Top
five. Well, we already know who the number one.
I'll let you kick it off,
bro.
Joe.
You want me to go first? We already know who the number one team is. Who's my second favorite team? And then, I'm gonna go 1 to 5 though. New York Liberty number 1. They got the best duo in the league. It's kind of hard to stop them. They the best team in the league. Then I'm gonna put Minnesota on there, number 2. The St. Louis, and they just dominate, bro. They just play so well, and I just have faith in them offensively, and they're pretty good defensively. They're just an overall solid team. You got to put them up there. I like what they're doing. Just Collier can just take over when she need to, and that's just something that a lot of teams in the WNBA don't have, that one person where you can guarantee that they're going to take over every single night. Third, I'm going to put the Sun. I really still don't have that much faith in their offense, but what they've been able to do all year long defensively, and they've had opportunities in games where they've just been pretty good offensively to where you go, oh, maybe they can go on a stretch to score enough points to win some games in the playoffs. So I'm going to keep them at 3. Man, 4, I'm gonna put Indiana Fever. I know they don't have a 500 record. Well, yeah, they don't have a 500 record, but I like what they're doing. And we're talking about the best 5 teams right now. I think they deserve to be up there. They're really high right now, the way they plan. I think they can keep going. And then 5, I'm gonna put the Aces, and I'm putting that on them on purpose because I expect them to be dominant and be better than they have been all year. And I usually had them at 2 or 3 all year long, but the slide that I've been seeing lately, they still got Asia Wilson, the best player in the world, but they should still be better. So I'm putting them at 5. They still top 5. They're still in the top 5. I'm just trying to light some fire on there. Yeah,
there's not a fucking prayer in the world that Caitlin Clark's gonna walk into Las Vegas and do nothing. She ain't doing nothing.
Why not?
Boy, she will get locked up so fucking quick in that game. Stop.
They got a lot of people they can throw. They got a lot of people they can throw at her. They got a lot of people they can throw at her.
Don't do that. All right, I will agree with you at number 1. Number 1 is for sure the New York Liberty. They've just been on a separate level. I'm not going to be disrespectful to the Connecticut Sun like you were. I will put the Connecticut Sun number 2.
New York Liberty. Sorry. I had to get my Sabrinas out. Sorry. I told you they're my second favorite team.
Where your Asians
I gotta
at?
get some Asia Wilson next. She just came out with them. I don't have them yet, bro. I don't have them yet.
Nonetheless, I got the Sun number 2. Love the defense. I think they find enough scoring. I will put Minnesota 3. Yeah, I'll do that.
You
I'll
have
put
to,
Minnesota
man.
3.
They're good.
4, I'm going to go Seattle Storm. I feel like you're really disrespectful for leaving them off your list, but
I kind of forgot about Seattle a little bit. They've been good too.
They've been balling. And then I will agree with you that the Aces are 5 right now, but to put the Fever ahead of them is just you're out of pocket.
What?
You're out of pocket.
Is it top 5? Is it the power rankings right now or power rankings throughout the season?
Right now, who you think if all these 5 teams play, what the fuck's gonna
That's
happen?
what I think. Yes.
I know you don't believe that the Fever would beat the Aces.
The list is fluid. This is fluid. So out of that, you telling me she's not a top 5 offensive player out of those top 5 that I had? She's not in the top 10 offensive player right now.
Top 10 offensive players out of 5 teams. Congratulations.
Yeah, she probably number 5 to be honest.
No.
Go
that far.
Because Liberty got 2. Yeah, Vegas got 2 at least. Yeah, you're right. Minnesota got 1. She was top 7. Top 7.
The fuck out
and Leah Boston been balling. I'm giving them their credit. I've been bashing them all year. I'm giving them
if you would have put Aces 4, Fever 5 instead of Seattle, I could have let it live.
I was really thinking about doing that.
But I can't let it live. You putting them over the 2-time champ.
Nah.
I just can't let that go. That don't make no damn sense.
Make it
Joe,
a little
of a hot take. We choose love. We choose violence. You didn't have to. It's not required on here.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
What are you choosing, Joe? You choosing love? You choosing violence?
I'm choosing violence. Because I had to work the Mizzou game from 5. I do the pregame to the postgame Mizzou football, and there was only good 10 minutes of the game that was actually good. You're playing Murray State. I get it. You scored 51 points, but you scored 28 of them and didn't do shit else after that. I've never seen a game where they scored 51-0 and you only can pull 4 highlights. And I'm throwing vines because there's so many Mizzou fans out here. We can make the college football playoff. Like, you don't have to play Texas A&M at Texas A&M. I've seen y'all play Oklahoma in my life, 31 years. I don't think I've ever seen y'all beat Oklahoma. So that's another loss. And you got to play Alabama, but y'all think y'all making the college football playoff. And y'all only have 4 highlights against Murray State. So I'm choosing violence on the whole state of Missouri for jumping on this bandwagon train of Eli Drinkwitz and think that this shit finna be something nice. It's the first week of college football. Everybody enjoy it now before the Mizzou does what Mizzou does best. Fall on their ass.
Damn.
So fuck Mizzou.
Damn, you ain't got no love for the
and they got a shaman from who's the quarterback. I can't.
Nope. Good.
Yep. Trash.
Damn.
Team is trash.
Damn, Joe.
Trash.
All right.
Number 11 team in the country, my ass. Trash.
He won 51-0. He's complaining. That's crazy.
Yeah. Did you watch the game?
Of course I didn't watch the game. Why would I watch Mizzou play Murray State?
Trash. I was working it, so I had to do it. Trash.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna show love in general. Football's back.
Facts.
That's all I got.
Nice.
It's just fantastic. Nice. Tomorrow is our last Sunday before we have until we have our last Sunday before we have NFL through the rest of the year. So that's fantastic.
We do have a games on Sunday though.
We got some college football games on
LSU.
Sunday.
Who plays LSU? Somebody.
No, yeah, it's a good game too. It's
LSU versus somebody.
Yeah, can't remember.
Someone.
I think it's 2 ranked teams.
LSU. Yes, LSU versus.
No, I think it's out of conference.
LSU versus somebody. Yeah, it's a Big Ten versus SEC. Yeah. Oh, it's USC versus USC versus LSU. That's what it is.
Okay.
Big Ten versus SEC. That's what it is. Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to football being back. we got the NFL starting on Thursday. And Joe, I mean, do we break
We can
some
announce
news
it if you want
here?
to. Yeah, we're gonna start a NFL college football show. We'll be doing it on Tuesdays and Fridays. On Fridays will be like our pick 'em. I mean, I can't gamble in Missouri, but I can give you advice on who to pick. I can drive to Illinois and make options. I don't know about Will over there. I don't know if he does the same thing, but
Yeah, we got here.
we can
We got it in
gamble.
Kentucky.
We're gonna do some pick-ems, and then we'll also recap on Tuesdays or Mondays. Sometimes during the football game, during the Monday night game, we'll figure that out. But we'll try to do 2 shows of football since there's college and NFL. It'll be real good. It'll be fun. Everybody loves college football and the NFL, especially with the gambling part. You know, that's an easy way to get some sponsors too.
I did just make a little something last night on a little college football, a little 80 piece. What I bet, but I bet like 4 things on the TCU game.
Who are they playing?
They were playing TCU. Damn, who are they playing? Playing a West Coast team. I feel like TCU Stanford.
Oh, ooh, that could be a tricky pick. That's a tricky game.
Yeah, I had like Cam Cook anytime touchdown.
Shit.
Cam Cook 50 yards. Alaric for 60 yards receiving. I don't know. Some stuff. I just got on there and looked at whatever I thought the best odds were and put like 5 or 6 of them together. $10 turned into $80.
Degenerate. He ain't gonna even watch that game. Degenerate. Check out HBCU games on ABC this year. They got HBCU games on ABC this year.
Shout out.
Shout out. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we got a name? We got a name for the other show?
3 and Impossible.
We ain't got that far yet. 3 and Impossible.
3 and Impossible, bro. 3 and Impossible. We'll just keep it 3 and Impossible. We'll just be adding it to Punchline Productions. So if you ever search Punchline Productions 314 on YouTube, you can find 3 and Impossible there as well as 3 and Impossible on YouTube. Or 3 and Impossible, 3 dot and dot a dot possible on Instagram. Oh, is it actually just 3 and Impossible? I thought it was 3 dot. Isn't that? Is it not?
I don't remember.
On Instagram, I think it's like 3 dot.
I think you made the Instagram. I don't
remember. I think it's 3 dot and Impossible or some shit like that.
We'll figure all that shit out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure all that shit out.
We'll still be using Restream.
But all right, y'all.
We're 3
and Impossible. Some football content coming now too. We will see you on Wednesday for our first